Right now, you're listening to the Scary Vibes podcast. My name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
And my name is Abe, aka Bigg Paranormal. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Today, we're on episode 41, the last one of the year. Well, technically, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year. We're a little bit late, but that's okay. Things, responsibilities happen, things come up.
But this
Yeah.
episode is going to be fun. We're going to kind of review some of the movies that, we've watched throughout the year, some new movies from 2025. Give you some of our picks. I have some picks actually from the Scary Vibes community to share with everybody.
Yep.
But before we get into all of that, how have you been?
Oh, man. It's the end of the year, right? So sometimes things can get a little bit heavy, right? You start to think about the things that didn't necessarily go right throughout the year and whatever. I'm usually one of those people that doesn't do anything to celebrate the new year just because after years of working in, public safety, working as a bouncer, there were years where I had to work late on New Year's every single year. And so I would see the absolute worst things happen during those times. And so that's why I like to just kind of stay by myself, during
Do
New
some
Year's.
reflecting.
I guess you could call it that. I mean, I literally just, I appreciate quiet in my life now. I mean, people can sit there and they can make fun of me and say that I'm an old man or something like that, but I enjoy the solitude. I enjoy not being amongst all the New Year's cheer and all the alcohol and just craziness. So this year I was by myself and I just kind of chilled at home, and I pre-ordered some chicken wings, which was super awesome.
Where'd you get it from?
Wingstop, man. I ordered it. I had to order it like hours in advance.
Man, I remember when we used to love B-dubs,
Uh-huh.
but now that is I feel like it's the lowest tier when it comes to wings. Like, that's the last place I want to go to.
Dude, slander. Shots fired. I don't know.
The only reason I would go to B-dubs is for their, was it fried pickles? That's my favorite. Ooh, I
Bro,
love the
you're picking
fried
fight. I feel
pickles.
like you're picking fights right now with B-dubs. I still enjoy B-dubs, but and this is gonna sound really bad just because Wingstop is like 2 blocks away from my house, so I easily could have driven there, but I was on some lazy shit. So I paid that extra money just so I wouldn't have to go over there. And then I bought a bottle of tequila and I had a couple drinks just here by myself, chilling, watching some, cheesy horror movies, really low budget horror movies on Tubi, So to me, I enjoyed that. That was cool. I don't like doing much, but there's a lot of weird shit going on, man. A lot of weird stuff happening in the household recently. A lot of bumps in the night, a lot of floors creaking. There's been a few times where, my dog, she's been acting kind of crazy, man. She's been acting out of pocket, staring at things that aren't there, barking and growling at things that aren't there. I was in the house by myself yesterday, so there's nobody else here, so there's no reason for her to be, for her attention to go in a specific direction. But there was a few times where she would get up and she would go and stand and stare at the front door.
That's kind of crazy because I want to say probably maybe the day after Christmas, maybe the 26th of December, my cat, Chucky, my son, I birthed him. He comes in my room. It was probably 2 nights in a row, but this one night was very strange. And he hops in the bed with me, and he's cuddling all over my chest, and it's just waking me up. He's so fluffy and furry, and it's just I'm waking up, and I'm the type of person, I love my pets, and I try to comfort him. I try to get him comfortable, maybe where we could both sleep. But he just kept rolling around, and then at some point he started to look in the corner like he was looking at something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what are you looking at? And the only thing that could come into my mind is like, oh fuck, the Grim Reaper is here. He is ready to come take me away.
Bro, so dark.
You know me, Mr. Dark and Gloomy.
I thought I was dark and gloomy, but
So,
yeah.
like I know you're really strong on like being able to like feel certain things. Have you
Hmm.
felt anything when this is happening?
Oh yeah, dude. Like I've felt just weird. Oh man, it's hard to explain. Like this happened a little while ago too. I was like sitting down, and I'm Mexican, so I was eating a big bowl of pozole for New Year's because my aunt sent me
Mm.
some pozole, which was awesome, and I enjoyed it very much. Shout out to my aunt Sandra Cruz for making that for me. But yeah, man, I was like sitting there eating, and then all of a sudden I just get hit with this intense wave of fear. And I'm like, whoa, this just does not feel good. Like it's gonna knock me on my ass, dude. If I wasn't sitting down, I'm pretty sure that it would have it would have put me down. It would have put me on my ass. And at least I'm to a point now where I can recognize what's going on and I can say, hey, this isn't me. Like this isn't something that's going on with me. It's an outside energy, and usually when I acknowledge it, it starts to go away and I'm fine. But usually when that happens, that means that something in the immediate vicinity, there's either a loss of life or, something really bad that happens. I haven't like looked into the news to see what's been going on, but I have noticed that my dog, whenever I have those episodes, she picks up on that same, like that anxiety. And
Hmm.
it's weird. It's almost like we can sense it at the same time, you know? And so that's why whenever she'll get up, and normally when she gets up to look at something, like I've already felt it. I've already felt something that's in the room, So I don't know. It's been weird.
Animals definitely have that sense, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's definitely feeling something. If you're feeling something, and definitely creepy.
Yeah. But the fact that she's picking up on it too kind of makes me feel like better about it.
You're not crazy.
Yeah, like I'm not crazy. Exactly. But then it's like, oh, this is very real. So it
Would
kind of makes me scared even more. But besides that, not really anything too crazy. What'd you end up doing for New Year's?
Well, the holidays were kind of crazy. So, I want to start off by apologizing to everybody for, putting out a late episode. We had the holidays, but last Monday, I was actually in the hospital.
That's right.
So I started having like this tightness in my chest, and I started feeling, my legs feeling just different, like really heavy and weird, and I was worried. My daughter had went to her mom's house, and I actually thought I was working, but I was off. And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna just push through it. I don't have a lot of opportunities to like not have my daughter with me and not be working.
Yeah.
And I feel really off. I need to go to the hospital. So I went in and I told them I'm having chest pains, and so they rushed me to the back, and they're like, "Okay, we got to do EKG." They check it. They're like, "Okay, we don't see no immediate danger. We got to do blood work." This is I think like the day before Christmas Eve, so it is completely packed in there. It's like super packed, and I am just like, you know what? I'll come back in the morning. Probably not the best thing,
Oh,
but
dude.
I ended up leaving, and I came back. I was hoping that I would sleep it off, drink some water, and I
Uh,
would be fine. The next day, I went back because I kept feeling the same way. They did the blood work, and my potassium was low. So they gave me 40 quintillion things of potassium, and I didn't know about potassium, but I guess it's kind of what gives your body like electricity. It like it makes your heart fire, it makes all your muscles fire, it makes just your whole nervous system fire. So when
interesting.
you're so when you're low on potassium, yeah, your heart or your chest could feel weird. Your legs, your fingers could feel weird. So after that, I did a follow up with my primary. He was able to he reviewed the EKG and all that stuff because I did two of them both days, and he says he doesn't see nothing, but to play it safe, they want me to do a stress test. So I've been trying to live my life very stress free.
Which is not really that easy, especially when you're a single father of a daughter
And two cats, and
and two cats.
one of them is an orange cat. And the other one's named Chucky, so I'm already set up for disaster.
Uh huh.
But besides that, I've been feeling better though. I've been having a potassium rich diet. I did do some follow up blood work. My numbers are moving in the right direction, so
Nice, nice.
I'm feeling a lot better. As far as New Year's, I spent it with my daughter. We went
Okay.
to Walmart. We got some, Welchers champagne.
Oh, dude, they still make that? The Welch's, the grape juice for kids, right? Like the champagne for kids,
Yeah, so we got
non-alcoholic.
that. We got that. We got some cups. We got some party hats. And, we waited for the new year to come in. We went outside on my balcony and she likes it when I shake up the bottle and just spray it everywhere. So that's how we brought in the new year. And I would not want it any other way.
Dude, that's so awesome.
It
That
was
I love it.
awesome.
I love hearing. Well, first off, I'm glad to hear that everything is going, good with your health and everything. You're headed in the right direction. We're going to need to make sure that you include bananas into your diet to make sure
And
you
potatoes.
get your potassium up, bro. But I love hearing stories about you making memories with your daughter. I think it's very important for when you're Hispanic, you're growing up Hispanic. There's a lot of situations in which and I'm not throwing shade at Hispanic families or anything, but there are, I grew up with a lot of my friends coming from single parent households, you know. So
Hmm.
sometimes they had their fathers weren't around or their mothers weren't around. So it was always like one parent that was taking care. And when that happens, a lot of times you have the single parent gets overwhelmed, right? Because they're working their ass off to make sure that their kid has everything that they need. But like you go above and beyond to try to create lasting memories, right? And just awesome experiences that you share with your daughter. And that's one of the things that I really, really enjoy about the relationship that you have with your daughters, that you're always coming up with these little things. And for some people, it might seem like little things, right? Like really small, insignificant things. But these are going to be memories that your daughter is going to hold on to in the future, you know? I don't have memories like that with my father. My father has always been non existent in my life, you know? So I can appreciate whenever I hear a strong single parent that is going above and beyond and doing what they're supposed to do as a parent. I appreciate you.
Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate those kind words, and I'm definitely trying my best over here.
Doing a great job. You're doing a fantastic job,
I
bro.
appreciate it. So, you were saying you're watching some crappy Tubi movies, and I'm kind of curious, what have you been watching lately? Like, what was maybe like your last horror movie of the year? I'm
um,
curious.
well, so for Christmas, I had to watch Gremlins, right? Because that was like that was one of the very few, well, not very few, but like classic horror movies that it just happens to happen on Christmas, right?
And it's
Wasn't
dark.
necessarily, and it wasn't necessarily based like around. It wasn't like a Christmas horror movie that had to do with Santa Claus or Krampus. You know what I'm saying? So I love that movie, and I tend to watch it every year around Christmas. And I gotta say, man, the mother in that movie was a straight up G.
Oh, and she like starts shoving them down like the garbage disposals and stuff.
Dude, she by herself. So you had Gizmo, right? Then Gizmo gets wet because obviously this kid Billy it completely ignores all the warnings and
All the
like not
rules.
even
Yeah, there was three
yeah,
rules.
dude, like not even 24 hours later he gets the Mogwai wet, right? So he's really, really irresponsible, even though he appears to be a kid who's got it all together. He works in a bank. He's a bank teller. So you would think that he knows a little bit about responsibility. No, it pisses me off. And so, like, he ends up getting Gizmo wet. And what happens? He ends up sprouting out 5 more Mogwai, right? And then the Mogwai end up tricking Billy into feeding them after midnight, which is another cardinal rule that you're not supposed to break. And so everybody knows, everybody who's seen Gremlins knows that in the a part of the lore is that if you feed the Mogwai after midnight, they basically go into like this chrysalis stage, like a cocoon. And then when they come out, they are these reptilian, tiny humanoid gremlins, these monsters, you know. And so there were 5 of them, and the mother single-handedly takes 3 of them out. You know, like,
The mom was a G.
she was a G, man. How do you go? And she was a housewife, right? Like, I mean, it's, you got to have a significant amount of reserve and strength to be a housewife, but like, bro, she brought it. She brought it, man. Maybe it was frustration. I don't know what it was.
She wasn't getting piped right.
Maybe she wasn't getting cracked right or something, or maybe she was angry about.
I mean, the dad was an inventor. He was always on the road.
He was always gone, man. Yeah, he was always gone. So she was probably like, "This is for all the times that I had to take this. I had to take care of everything myself. I had to hold the household down."
I
It's
love it.
probably.
We're just coming up with the worst conclusions.
We're just talking mad shit about like the father and whatnot, but like, bro, when that scene where she stabs the hell out of the gremlin, if you go back and you watch the movie, bro, I was laughing because like right after she stabs the gremlin, another gremlin starts chucking plates at her from across the room, and she turns around, and as she's like going towards that gremlin and pushes it in the microwave, in the background you can see the gremlin that she just got done stabbing, and he has the knife in his gut, and he's
Oh
holding
wow.
onto the knife, and he's just kind of writhing around in pain. And I didn't even notice that, dude. When I was growing up watching this movie, I never noticed that scene.
Yeah,
It's
they were always like 1 and 2. They were always kind of just like wacky and comical, and like there were so many little details. I remember part 2, they had like so many like Easter eggs with like different movies, like Batman and stuff like that.
uh-huh.
They sprinkled in there. They probably overdid it, but yeah, that first one, I love how it just takes you from 2 extremes. Like the movie starts, it's like, okay, it's Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
This kid has a girlfriend. And then the dad goes to Chinatown and picks up, Gizmo for him. It feels like a wholesome, cute movie.
Right.
And then, you get introduced to Gizmo and the rules, and it draws you in. You're like, okay. But
Every,
then it
yeah,
just gets
everything just goes.
dark in
It's
the
just,
blood and the gore. Like, ugh.
dude. So surprisingly, you do know that that movie was supposed to be a hell of a lot darker.
I
So
did not know.
I had actually a few years ago, I had read an article stating that originally this was supposed to be a full-fledged horror movie, and they ended up like giving it the Disney treatment because they wanted to broaden the audience, right? But originally there's a scene in there where what is it, Billy's asleep, and he wakes up, and he's like, wait a minute, where's my dog? And he can
Mm.
hear the dog like kind of, whining outside, and he goes outside and he finds that his dog has been hogtied, and he's like being hung off the side of the house with Christmas lights. And originally in that scene, the dog, like the gremlins were supposed to like eat the dog and then leave his carcass hanging from the Christmas lights. And then in the original script, the mother was not supposed to make it, dude. Like the mother goes upstairs because she hears like some noises, and then
Mhm.
Billy comes home and he's like yelling up to his mom, and then the gremlins throw her severed head down the stairs to
Ooh.
him. Like, dude, it was supposed to have been way darker.
I honestly, I hate hearing stuff like that. I hate when, these big movie companies just get in the heads of, the creators, the directors, the writers, and
Mm-hmm.
force them to just change the script, because it's like, because once you change it, then you change the complete vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not a well put out piece. So whenever I hear stuff like that, it's just,
So
they got to
okay,
do better.
my question to you
Okay.
would be that if they were to go and remake Gremlins, would you want it to be like that same kind of horror comedy feel, or would you want it to be like a full-fledged all-out horror movie with gore? And because there was some blood, there were times where people did end up getting killed in these movies, but it
Well,
was kind of in like more of a comical way.
I think that's where number two, Gremlins 2, came up short. It was like they overdid the comedy,
Yeah.
and it became silly. Like, I enjoyed it because it was just fun.
Hmm.
But I mean, if I was redoing one, I would definitely keep the wholesomeness, like in the beginning, create that, like, that core, wholesomeness of the story. But yeah, then just completely crank it in the opposite direction and make it as dark as possible. That would be
Hmm.
ideal if I were to be recreating it, or if, they were recreating it. That's what I would like to see as a fan.
Yeah. Dude,
What about
I
you?
I would definitely be up for seeing like a full-fledged Gremlins horror remake. I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, they keep like teasing us with. I know they HBO put out like an animated one. I think I watched like the first two episodes, and it was really well polished. It just wasn't that same feel.
Well, again, it was geared more for like kids, right?
Yeah,
Which is kind of messed up because let's be honest, the audience that originally watched that movie, I mean, it came out in what, 88, I believe. So like all of the people are either 35 or pushing 40,
that's
right?
what I don't get either. I mean, I guess I get it because, okay, if you're, in your mid 30s, you probably have kids and you're gonna like want to introduce them to a series that you grew up with. But
Hmm.
at the same time, kids nowadays really don't even care. They, their their attention span is so short. But like, you're like hinting towards like, hey, the people who love this movie are in their 30s, 40s now.
Hmm.
Like, we're more mature. Why don't you give us something a little bit darker, a little something we're gonna really sick our teeth into? Like, I remember, what was it, when the Goosebumps, they redid the show, and it was like, bro,
Oh, dude, yeah, they Gen Z'd it out, man.
it was so frustrating. And that's my fear for all these reboots that are in the works right now with Friday the 13th and
Yeah.
Halloween and stuff like that. Like, don't forget your core audience. Don't just, now that you have the deal on the table, like, okay, how can we make this where everybody's gonna love it? Like, no, let's not do that.
I agree. I really do, man. I agree. I get sick of, I get that they're trying to appeal to a younger audience, but it's like, yo, man, the younger audience is not necessarily the crowd that is going to, these horror conventions, right? The younger audiences aren't the ones that are necessarily going to all of these like, special presentations, movie nights, movies in the, what is it, when they play the movies in the cemeteries, movie viewings in cemeteries and stuff like that. They're not the ones going on ghost hunts and doing all this crazy shit.
Yeah,
It's like, don't forget the audience that made you guys a success to begin with. Don't forget the audience that made this movie a cult classic. you know and the thing is, like you said, like with Goosebumps, you know bro, we grew up watching that stuff, right? We were kids when we watched it. Obviously, I don't know if the books are still in publication right now, or if kids are even reading them nowadays. But the thing is, if you're going to make a show about Goosebumps and the younger generation hasn't been reading Goosebumps, who are you really marketing it to then?
yeah, they're just hoping to catch fire twice.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But it's
bro,
like, yeah, they should have just, cranked it up a notch, put on HBO. Made them all rated R.
Right. And that, you know what, dude? That's why I enjoyed the Fear Street films that they made a few years back. Those really appealed to me because they were dark, right?
They were good.
These were not like movies, horror movies done by Disney. These were no, these people were getting killed, they were getting hacked up, there was blood, there was gore. There was heavy subject matter, serious subject matter. It was geared more towards our age group, an older age group, an older audience.
No, I did
And
appreciate those, and
yeah,
they did
I
right by that.
yeah, they really did. But yeah, besides that, man, I did tell you that I watched the 1979 Dracula for the first time. Dude, I don't want to bash this movie because there were some good parts to it. And
Come
I
on,
think,
you bashed Twilight 2 weeks ago. You gotta.
but Twilight makes it. Dude, Twilight made it too easy, bro. I'm
Okay.
sorry, but like, come on. You got these guys, these werewolves running around in cut off jean shorts. And I
I
mean,
know, but when I okay, so prior to the episode, because I wasn't planning on watching it. It's kind of something that just happened over the weekend,
uh
and after I had watched it, I was driving to Target and I called you and I told you about it.
huh.
You were like, "Oh yeah, I seen him with my brothers," and you had things that you didn't like, you had things that you did like, and then I was like,
Right.
"Okay, well, I'm going to talk about it tonight on the pod,"
Yeah.
and then it was just like
You were
I
like shit
hated
all
it.
over it.
You were like, I hated it.
Dude,
This
no,
was the
so
worst. I was
like
like,
again, I told you there were things that I enjoyed about it. Like I thought it was cool that they showed how fast and how strong they were. I also liked the aspect of them basically being so old and their bodies being devoid of like blood that their skin takes on almost like a porcelain
yeah, the way you
texture
explained
to
it
it.
to me is like, yeah, like, because there is a part where it like goes inside one of their bodies and it kind of shows like their body not moving, but like calcifying.
Right,
And I
right.
remember you had
So
mentioned that to me, and I was like, yeah, I didn't think about that. That is kind of like, it was cool that they like kind of went into the detail on it. But
right.
anyways, that was last episode.
But it was a very different take on it, right? But like I don't like the direction that it took the vampire and the werewolf genre. It's like these things are scary and they're made to be scary, and it's okay to put a little bit of romance into it, but that was too much, dude. There was too much wide-eyed, heavy breathing. Um it was too much for me. And the I mean, it's been out for how long now? So like
Well,
there's not really any spoiler alerts, but like the M Night Shyamalan ending, oh, this like I enjoyed that last battle between the Cullen family and their friends against the what was the name of the group of
uh
vampires, that like society or whatever. I can
huh.
see I loved that fight, but that's because I'm a dude. Like, yeah, let's fucking fight. Like I want to see fighting. I want to see the werewolves tearing off vampires' heads and shit. Like that was cool. But then the whole M Night Shyamalan twist ending, where it was like, oh, it didn't really happen. It was a vision that one of them had, and said, this is what could happen if this war really goes, and
Yeah.
we really start fighting. I was so angry. I'm like, bro, let me out of here.
Okay, sorry to get you off track. Okay,
I like how you
1979
threw me under the
Dracula.
bus, bro. You threw me under the bus.
Well, I don't want you to go nice on this movie. If you're gonna be mean all the time.
I'm go big or go home.
I know this is one of your mom's
So,
favorites, so
I mean, no. So this is her favorite Dracula,
uh
right? So Frank Langella is he plays Dracula, right? And the funny thing is that okay, so Frank Langella is a very famous character actor, honestly. One of the really big things that he did, I don't know if you saw this, but there was an old school He-Man movie, Masters of the Universe, and he played Skeletor. And his presence as Skeletor was so dope in that movie. But as Dracula, I mean, it was a very much like, obviously the movie is set in like the what, 1600s, and it follows the whole, you know, Dracula mythos of, okay, he's on the Demeter and he comes to London, right, via the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so weird how they like kind of switched roles, because now Dracula's love interest is not Mina, who Mina Harker was originally the one that he was interested in, right? In all the other adaptations, it's always been Mina Harker. But in this one, no, he's after Lucy. And if you remember, Lucy was like the friend who was kind of she's kind of
She likes werewolves.
yeah, we'll just say that. She's out there, you know. She's kind of frisky. She's kind of friendly in the bed sheet department, you know.
Yeah.
But in this one, so Lucy was played by Kate Nelligan, and Kate Nelligan, uh, if you guys have seen the movie Wolf with Jack Nicholson, she famously played his wife in Wolf. And I didn't like her in that movie, and I liked her even less in this movie because, bro, I don't understand what's up with this chick cheating on people in these movies, man. But in Wolf, she cheated on Jack Nicholson. In this movie, she cheats on her man, on Jonathan Harker, and it really bothered me that, like, Frank Langella, listen, I get it. He's got the big hair and it's poofy and it's pushed back, and he's wearing the big collar with the cape.
Let me look at this guy.
And dude, you got to see pictures of him. It's ridiculous. And then he was wearing like this fluffy shirt, and the shirt was open and it showed his chest. And I was like, bro, what kind of romance novelist designed this?
Oh
Oh my
yeah, I'm
god.
looking at him.
And he's got
He
like these fierce eyes, right? He's got like these fierce eyes. His eyes are really wide. And so it was so, you know what I thought was cool?
wait,
Donald
Samuel Lewis in
Pleasance.
this?
I'm sorry?
Is Samuel Lewis in this?
Samuel. Oh yeah. Donald Pleasance. Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, I see him in a photo.
Yeah, he was in there. He played
Like a
Mina's,
doctor?
yeah, he played Dr. Seward, Mina's father,
I
right?
love that guy.
In this movie, he played Mina's father. And I gotta say, man, so he ends up obviously killing Mina, not Lucy, in this movie. So Mina comes back as a vampire, and I will say one of the things that they did, it hit a no-go zone for me, and she killed a baby. There's a scene where she kills a baby, and they show the baby, like the baby's body lying on like the asylum floor with like blood coming out of it. I was like, dude, that just messed me up. I know it's fake, but like, you know how I feel about that stuff. Like
Yeah.
kids are a no go. Kids are a no go. But like the design of Mina as a vampire was pretty. I don't know, man. It was pretty scary because her skin was. I don't even know what I would compare it to, but it was just like white. It was white, dude. White as a
Hmm.
sheet, maybe. And her eyes were black, but they had red irises. You know, and she was just like really scary. And what I really thought was weird was the fact that he's Dracula, but yet he never shows his fangs at any point throughout this movie. It was
Did he
very
have,
strange.
did he have any glitter?
No glitter, thank God, because I was kind of glittered out. But it's funny because, like, dude, you look at this and they like, you know, it's like Dracula, but he's sexy, and he's wearing a V-neck shirt, and he's showing his chest hair, and he's got this big '70s hair, and it's pretty funny, you know.
I
The
mean, it
overall,
seems like usually, he's always like kind of supposed to be like a sex symbol. I guess probably in '79 that was probably sexy.
that's the whole reason why he's my mom's favorite, his favorite Dracula, because I think it's the hair and the V-neck shirt, you know. Overall, it was an interesting watch for me, and I would encourage anybody who is a fan of Dracula and has seen all the different adaptations over the years,
Mm-hmm.
watch this movie and tell us what you think, man, because it did have some pretty good parts to it, man. For it being, as you know, it's an older movie, like I said, 79. So I mean, I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah,
So
me
some of the
neither.
effects and some of the effects in this movie were, I'm sure that they were pretty, cutting edge for their time.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple scenes where they showed him turning into a bat. That was pretty cool. Other things was they did like tips and tricks with a camera. Like he walked behind a pillar, and then once he got behind the pillar, a wolf jumped out of the other side. To show that he had shapeshifted into this wolf. But I mean, it was kind of a fun watch, just because it was so different than what you're used to, especially now with how Dracula movies are nowadays. But I'm telling you, Google, if you go and you Google Dracula 1979 and you look up Mina as a vampire, dude, she looks scary. If you look at her, she looks kind of like a zombie.
Let me see.
You got to look it up, man.
I know I want to see that new Dracula movie. I think
Yeah, they just released a new one, man. When does that one come out? We got to check that out.
I think it's released like in Europe, but not here in the States yet. I don't know why. But yeah, it looks very
Probably how
just
much it
like
sucks.
looks very like dark romance, like it's gonna be right up my alley.
You love dark
Um
romance, dude.
okay, 79 Dracula said Nina?
No, yeah, Mina, Mina.
Let's see if I can get a picture
1979,
of
dude.
her.
You got to see this chick, man.
Oh, okay, so let me describe it to our audience. So, I mean, basically, she's a woman with brown hair, poofy,
Mm-hmm.
and like it looks like her skin is almost like peeling off her face, and there's
Mm-hmm.
blood running down her mouth, and her eyes are like bloodshot, but also just like the darkest like eyes around it. And that definitely is creepy. I could imagine just being a kid back in like this in the late 70s and just being like scared of this chick.
Yeah, man, she's really scary to look at. Her skin is white. It's ugh, I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, definitely check it out if you want to. If not, no, I don't care.
so so I knew we were going to make today's episode, and because this has been in this episode I wanted to do since we finished the last one, but then with the holidays, and then I know you had stuff going on with
Mm-hmm.
your grandmother's house was finally like sold,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was in the hospital, so this episode got pushed back. But I knew I wanted to do an episode where we talked about like our favorite things for 2025,
Yeah.
and I wanted to watch a movie. My last movie of the year, I was like, okay. The only criteria was that it had to be from 2025. So
Yeah.
I was like, maybe, I'm gonna the last movie of the year, maybe it'll be a sleeper, it'll sneak into the end. And I probably should have did better vetting, but I did not. The only criteria was it had to be from 2025. So what did I do? I went on Prime
Mm-hmm.
and I just started scrolling for something that I haven't seen, and it was from 2025. And
Okay.
I landed on this movie called Killstreak.
Oh, Killstreak.
And okay, so this movie's on Prime.
Okay.
And it's basically it starts off with a streamer. He's online, and all these other windows start opening where these other streamers join his game. But nobody really knows how they ended up there. They're like, wait, like everyone thought their camera was off. There was even this one guy that was like his wife or his girlfriend was like riding him in his gaming chair.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Hey, dude, like you're on live. You're like," and then the girl gets up. She's like, "You've been recording this." So basically, all their cameras, all their computers turn on, and they're like, "What the heck?"
I hate when it.
And yeah, right. And so they're all sitting there, and the main guy is like, "Hey, well, combined, we have like 200,000 watchers right now. Like, we should play this game." So they load up the game and all their avatars look exactly like them. So they're all like freaked out from that. But as they start to play the game, they all start to get the heebie jeebies.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, anybody could probably predict this. One of the guys dies in the game. And then when he dies, this like computer figure comes from behind, basically just like chokes him out and starts slamming his head on the keyboard, but you can't see him. It's like
Mm.
very computerized and glitchy. It's like this glitch look. And then, the girls that are in there, they get freaked out. They want to leave. They realize they can't leave because the one girl tries and she gets attacked and a gruesome murder. They end up hanging the girl in her room, this
Ooh.
computer glitch thing. So there is some like decent kills in this. Very predictable what's going on. I wish I would
How
have vetted. Go
how
ahead.
is how is the format of it though? Like, does it look like they put some money into it, or?
So it's definitely very low budget for the most part. You're seeing a lot of like video game play, but then you're also seeing um, these actors in their like just streaming setup, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
like there. For the most part, some of the acting is okay, some of it's bad. It's kind of cheesy. I do like some of the kills in it.
Okay.
In the end, there's a little bit of a twist. Like you said with Dracula. I mean, you could watch it or not watch it. I probably should have picked a better movie to finish out my 2025, but I only had one criteria, and
Right.
I was hoping that I would like throw it on and it would be some awesome kills or some good laughs or a little bit of both.
Uh-huh.
It's actually got a 5.1 rating on IMDb. Like I said, you can watch it for free on Prime right now or Plex. If you
Ooh.
got Plex, I never really dealt with them.
Wait a minute. Justin Wong is in this movie?
Justin
Justin
Wong,
Wong from freaking D2, The Mighty Ducks.
it's your boy.
Yeah. Ken Wu. I mean, so my biggest question to you would be, like, would you recommend people watch this, or is this a hit or a miss for you?
I wouldn't recommend anybody go out of their way. No. I
Okay.
mean, I guess if you're a gamer and you pretty much already seen every horror movie and you just want to watch something, you could appreciate it, I guess. If you're a gamer, there's a chance you might like it. Or if you're
Mm.
watching it with somebody on the younger side, maybe like late teens or something, you wanted to like watch a horror movie, it might be appealing to them. It wasn't completely bad, but I probably wouldn't recommend it. I'd probably
Sorry,
watch something
Justin
else.
Wong. Sorry, Justin Wong. I think I'm gonna have to skip this one.
Okay, so coming down to The Wire, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
2025 is in the books. We watched a lot of good horror movies. We've seen a lot together.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not as many as we should, but I know we started the year off watching Wolfman,
Mm-hmm.
and I know we saw The Monkey, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and
Dude, we saw a lot, man. We saw a lot
we did
together.
see a lot.
Yeah.
So I had our admins kind of just go all over the place on our Facebook group, just asking the community what did they like. So they ended up asking the community what was the best horror film of 2025. So I definitely want to go through some of these comments and just see what our community thought.
Let's
So
do it.
so we have a bunch of Frankensteins.
Yes.
Started off. Then we have weapons. A
Okay.
bunch of weapons. There's actually like 4 or 5 people that were like weapons.
Okay.
Shelby Oaks. I don't know if that's a person or a movie. I haven't seen it.
Shelby Oaks, I believe it is a movie.
And then Until Dawn,
Yeah. Until Dawn was another one that they released based off of a video game.
Sinners, probably the most exciting new franchise of the year. I would definitely have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that was just some of them.
Okay.
So I'm curious.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a favorite?
Are you asking me out of the ones that you just recommended, or are you asking for my actual pick
Your actual
overall?
pick.
So for my actual pick, I know that the second runner up is going to be Sinners.
Okay, yeah, let's talk.
Yeah, that was definitely a Sinners was a second runner up for me, just because it was a cultural piece. It was a time period piece, right? It showcased a lot of social issues, a lot of racial issues, things that should not be swept under the rug. It was a great movie, great cast, great acting, right? I really, really enjoyed that movie. But if you're asking me what my favorite horror movie of 2025 was, Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back was written by the Filippo brothers, right? And they're kind of like amateur filmmakers, right? And they're the ones who actually made Talk to Me. They had released that one like a year ago, right? In like 2024, I believe, or was it
Yeah,
2023?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so Bring Her Back, dude, was that movie was a banger. I've seen so many horror movies that I kind of feel like I've become kind of desensitized to them, right? But this movie had every aspect. It had a couple jump scare, scenes in it. It was kind of a suspense thriller. It made you feel like it was going in one direction, but it ended up going into a completely different direction. It had a supernatural element to it. Then they had some scenes that literally made me cringe, dude. And that is not easy to do. It is not easy to do, man. Oh, I see. Just thinking about it right now, it's skeeving me out.
Give me a scene. Like, what is just skeeving you?
Oh man, like I don't really want to give anything away for people that haven't seen it, but there is this. So you got these two kids who unfortunately lost their adopted father. Right, the
Mhm.
father ended up dying of a heart attack, and so they end up getting placed with this foster mother, and she's kind of odd. She's very over the top, very kind of touchy feely. I'm a hugger type person, and it just turns out that she has this other foster son that she's looking after, right? But she says that he's, kind of a special case. He doesn't really speak, and she takes care of him full time. He's for the most part he stays in his room, like locked up in his room. But the kid doesn't talk, and he's got to be about maybe 7 or 8 years old, you know.
Mhm.
And bro, oh, see, just thinking about it, it's messing me up. There's a scene where this kid, he basically like breaks out of the room
Mhm.
and he's just kind of wandering around the house, and they end up one of the kids ends up finding the kid, and the kid has a butcher knife, like a big ass kitchen knife, and he puts the knife in his mouth and he starts to chew
Ooh.
on the knife, but the knife is faced upward, so the blade is going like up into his teeth and his gums.
Oh.
And it's, dude, oh, see, just talking about it is, it's giving me like the bad chills.
Yeah, it's making my stomach hurt.
Bro, there is so many different scenes like that in here that make you literally, dude, it's been so long since I've actually had to cover my eyes during a horror movie, but I literally, there were several parts in this movie where I had to cover my face, and I was watching it through like the cracks of my fingers. I was watching it through my fingers. That's like how messed up the movie was. It was a great movie. It was a fantastic movie. It had everything.
I
And
feel like
so it's because of that, that's the reason why this has to be my number one pick, man. Because it's it's one of those movies where if you watch it one time, it's enough.
I've
It's gonna
seen
it's gonna leave such a lasting impression.
I've seen a lot of people on X and Threads,
Uh-huh.
talking about this movie. It's always gotten like high ratings. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but
Yeah.
I feel like I need to make a lasagna and watch it.
Why lasagna?
Because I'm just thinking, what would be the hardest thing to eat while watching the grossest movie?
Yeah, you're probably right about that, man.
I do love lasagna too, though.
Lasagna is great. If you let me know when you make that, when you make a lasagna,
Have you come over?
I'm gonna come over. Yeah, you got to check it out, man. But right now, I mean, you can see it pretty much anywhere. It's on HBO Max. You can see it on YouTube if through a subscription. Amazon Prime requires a subscription also, but it's streaming pretty much everywhere. But dude, you gotta watch this movie. It's nuts. It's
If it's
crazy.
your pick, you always have good recommendations. You recommended so many movies this year. I don't remember. What was it? Baghead? Was the name of the one with the witch?
Yeah, yeah, Baghead.
I love that movie so much. And then also, what was the one with the like the leprechauns and it was like in England or it was
Oh,
in
you're talking about Unwelcome,
Unwelcome. Yeah, those
the
two
Red Caps.
recommendations, those movies were not even on my radar. You recommended them and they were some of my favorite movies that I watched this year. That's one of my
Oh,
favorite things about doing this podcast with you is just and being a part of, our community, the Scary Vibes community, is there's just always so many good recommendations and you could always, hear what people like about it, what they don't like about it, and there's always just good debate and back and forth and
mm-hmm.
then you go back and you're like, you go and watch and you're like, okay, this person was right, or this person, yeah, I'm not gonna take the recommendations, but I
Right.
appreciate it anyways. But
And the one thing is that really bothers me is it's like, bro, listen, we can have our differences, right?
all
Just like
day,
with anything else. Like some people like the Twilight movies, right? It's not for me. And that's not like I'm not necessarily saying that like the people that do enjoy them are wrong, right? But it's just a difference of opinion. We can have those differences. It's fine, right? So I mean, I can like a specific werewolf movie that you could absolutely hate. I'm not going to stop talking to you about it. You know what I'm saying? Like horror is horror. I love it. I love the genre. And there's so many different like subgenres to horror, right?
it's definitely been blossoming
And that's
lately.
what like that's one of the things that I always ask people, especially like when you guys are constantly welcoming new members to the community, new members to the Scary Vibes group on Facebook and in on Instagram. But like that's one of the things that I like to ask people is what is your favorite genre, like your subset of horror? Do you like slashers? Do you like werewolf movies, vampire movies, zombie movies, exorcism movies? Like what? There's so many different kinds. There's psychological
What
horror.
are what are your favorites?
Oh, bro, I'm a monster movie guy through and through. I love monster movies.
I love
I,
slashers, but the
I,
movies that give me the heebie-jeebies are definitely demonic
yeah, the
movies.
possession ones.
Possession, demonic. Those are the ones that are like watch that at night and you hear your floor creak and tell
you're,
and tell me that the hair on the back of your neck doesn't stand up.
you're like,
Tell me.
where did I put that holy water?
Dude, I remember being a kid and just like taking the butcher knife to the bathroom. Even though
Damn, bro, for
obviously,
real,
yeah, dude, I'd be like, I'm gonna go get this butcher knife and just walk through the house.
dude, you were gonna fuck Candyman up.
I was ready.
Wow,
Okay.
I never even thought to do that. That was actually pretty smart.
Except what if it was a ghost? I ain't gonna be able to do anything. He's gonna turn the knife on me.
I mean, I still feel like, I mean, he might
At
just be
least he knows
scared.
at least he knows I ain't scared. Like I'm ready for a fucking fight.
That's right. And you were from Berwyn, Thug Life.
I'm not from Berwyn. I'm from Bridgeport.
From Bridgeport, Thug Life.
But I do remember when I moved to Berwyn, I would always be like Berwyn Thug Life. I'm gonna
Right,
get it tattooed
exactly.
on my
You would always
belly.
say that. You would always say that. Berwyn Thug Life. I'm like, dude, what?
Dude, you got to rep where you're from. Wherever you're from, fuck it. Don't be ashamed where you're from. You know.
Yeah. So, what about you, man? What is your overall pick?
Okay. So. Okay. Okay. So when it comes down to kills, I love. I gotta give two shout outs.
Okay.
When it comes down to kills, I loved The Monkey. That movie was just so funny and so dark and so creative. I remember that scene at the very end when the school bus just full of like people are just sticking their heads out the window, and another truck just come by and just slaughters like 40 freaking kids
Uh-huh.
at the end of the movie, and you're just like, oh my god. That movie was just so fun. I loved it to death.
Dude, I love the fact that you chose that movie because so many people shitted all over that movie.
I loved it. Well, I'm not choosing that as my overall pick, but when it comes
Oh,
to
so it's
kills,
like an honorable mention.
yeah, I got two honorable mentions.
Okay.
Okay. So The Monkey, I loved it for all of its fun kills. It was a fun watch. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend that one. And then my second honorable mention was Sinners. I remember I had seen it with you in the theaters. I think my stomach was screwed up. I remember I had to use the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
I went and rewatched it. The movie is just it's fun. It's
Yeah.
set it's just set in what 30s, 40s?
Very early, like 20s.
Something like that. Yeah.
In Mississippi, yeah.
It was in Mississippi in the 20s. It had such good music and cast and dark, and I just feel like I mentioned earlier in this episode, I feel like this is a franchise that I'm excited for because they teased like I think early 1990s in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked dope. So hopefully they bring it.
Fingers
But the
crossed.
movie, yeah, but the movie that I picked is something that came out towards, the end of the year, and that's going to be 2025, Frankenstein.
Hey.
Written and directed by your favorite,
Did,
Guillermo del Toro.
did
I
you
don't say it
really
as cool as you. Go ahead,
Guillermo
correct
del
me.
Guillermo del Toro.
I know, sorry.
But
I
listen,
can't
listen.
roll things
All
off
right,
my.
but listen, Guillermo del Toro, but if you wanna, if you wanna hit it with the translation, it's
Ooh,
William del Toro or
William.
Bill. But yeah, dude, that guy's the man.
Yeah, but this movie, it was it was like poetry. Like everything about it, it was just so well polished. You could literally watch this movie muted and just be in love with all the set designs. You could turn the TV off and just listen to it, and it just sounded like poetry. All the actors were amazing. Uh, Mia Goth's performance in it, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
this was like her role. Like she always plays like a crazy girl, but in this, she was just like a sweetheart, and she just did amazing in it.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've said a few times throughout this episode, I am a fan of some dark romance. So,
You
um,
big softy.
I was hope because Nosferatu came out in December of 2024. That was like in my radar. I was like thinking like, wait, when did that movie come out? Because that was gonna be something that I was gonna possibly pick, but I was like, it was 2024. It just missed it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, this is like a freaking 2.5 hour movie. I loved every bit of it. I've recommended it to everybody. So that's my pick.
It's a great pick, man. It's a great pick. Jacob Elordi as the monster, he really brought it. He really brought it. It was a great movie. Just it was beautiful. The art design, the set design, the effects, everything. It was a great movie, and it was Guillermo del Toro's take on Frankenstein. And as we all know, that's had multiple renditions, right? Multiple versions that have been done with different people that have played the monster, but I don't know, man. This one, it really resonated. It was a great film, and I agree with you 110% on that one. It was awesome.
And I'm hoping. I mean, they have to. They have to do a sequel, Bride of Frankenstein. If they don't, dude, I'm gonna boycott. I'm gonna go up there, or I'll freaking direct it. Like, dude,
Dude, Mia Goth as the Bride of Frankenstein would be awesome.
dude, it would be amazing.
Well, fingers crossed, man.
Okay, so we're coming down to the end of the episode,
Mm-hmm.
and actually had gotten a message from Stephanie. She put together a list of some of our biggest contributors of the
Mhm.
Scary Vibes group that could be found free on Facebook groups.
Mm.
These people are amazing. Okay. We have in the number one slot with over 116 posts.
Oh,
We have Austin. Okay. Austin H. I'm not going to put out his last name. I'm not sure if he wants. Then we have another page. It's not a person, it's a page. They shared over 107 posts in our group, and their name is
okay.
Scary Files. So
Scary
check.
Files.
You might have to check them out.
Okay.
And then in
Shout
the
outs to
num
Austin. Shout outs to Austin and shout outs to Scary Files. Thank you for your contribution.
and then there's also a number three slot. I don't want to leave them out because they kind of went crazy in a bunch of different categories.
Okay.
Heather A. She had 66 posts, 57 comments, and 98 likes. And I think this is only over the month of December.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
This isn't for the whole year. This is
Yeah.
just for the month of December. So, big shout out to those three
Yeah, it's
contributors of the group.
a lot of
Hopefully
engagement.
they listen to the pod. But I appreciate everybody that even if you just go there to read, you don't like anything or post anything. I appreciate you just going in and checking it out here and there. It's a labor of love for the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Abraham. For the last year, we've got on here. Every week, and we put together this episode for you guys, just to just give back to the community.
Yeah, man. Just share our love for horror films and be able to actually interact with like other people that love the same thing that we love. It's awesome.
Exactly. But I think this is going to be a season.
Oh man. I'm gonna cry, man. I'm getting weepy.
And my name is Michael, aka Mr. Scary Vibes.
And my name is Abe, aka Bigg Paranormal. Guys, thank you so much for sticking it out with us through this whole year and everything. And because we weren't able to say it before, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Take care.